Centennial Retrospection of Prosecutorial System. In ancient China, there was no prosecutorial system. No clear line was drawn between either executive branch and judicial branch, or judiciary and prosecution. Bao Gong, the upright official at that time, was not only a governor, but also a judge, a prosecutor, and a policeman. Torture to get confession was allowed. As the concept of human right protection and separation of powers spread, the prosecutorial system in Taiwan has also developed for a century. Considerable achievements and contributions are witnessed.
鱼肉乡里，逼良为娼，落人勒赎，藐视王法，灭绝人伦，其心可诛，其刑可比，法所难容，罪不可赦，一律当斩。开打！饶命啊！饶命啊！打！
秦香莲母女有到医院去找你。 有了，你第一眼见到他的时候，你有什么反应呢？
We now look back the prosecutorial system, the development of this 100 years. Our current system traces back to 1906 of Qing Dynasty. The organic law of court by the Da Li Yuan, Department of Law, provided for the installment of prosecutors. 1 year later, a prosecutor's office was officially installed under the Da Li Yuan. The functions of the prosecutor were to investigate, indict criminals, make cases at courts, execute criminal penalties, and participate in civil lawsuits. The separation of justice and prosecution was also asserted. In 1928, the Ministry of Judicial Administration was established under the Judicial Yuan. In July, the nationalist government enacted the first Code of Criminal Procedure. The procedure for prosecutors to perform their duties was clearly prescribed. Prosecutors also had their role. In 1932, the Ministry of Judicial Administration was shifted to the Executive Yuan and governed all courts and prosecutors' offices. In the same year, the nationalist government enacted the first organic law of court, prescribing prosecutors' powers and functions, and asserting the system of 3 instances and 3 levels used until now. The Japanese occupation ended in 1945. The prosecutorial system of the ROC began from Qing Dynasty, replaced that of the Japanese occupation. The nationalist government retreated to Taiwan in 1949. The prosecutorial system of the ROC continues to develop in Taiwan. In 1955, the Training Institute for Judges and Prosecutors started the training of the first class. It has been the cradle of judges and prosecutors in the past 50 years.
我们司法官训练所这几年来，培养许多非常优秀的司法官。我们的重点在于几个方面。第一个就是我们改变我们的教学法，我们希望我们的教学法能够激发 多元的思考，以我们的民间人民的感情能够接近。那第二个，我们希望增加我们学员更多的社会历练。那第三个就是我们希望能够开拓他们国际的眼界。
On July 1st, 1980, courts and prosecutions were separated. The Ministry of Judicial Administration was renamed as the Ministry of Justice, supervising administration affairs of all prosecutors' units. The Taiwan High Court and courts under its jurisdiction were placed under the Judicial Yuan. This marked an important milestone in our judicial reform. There was no more doubt about the line between judiciary and prosecutorial system. In the same year, the state compensation law was promulgated. Prosecutors actively participated in handling state compensation cases. Prosecutors as the representative for public interest were highlighted. In 1982, the suicide case of Wang Yingxian shocked the whole society. It exposed the problem of extorting confession by torture used by the police and facilitated the revision of the Code of Criminal Procedure to allow the suspect to retain lawyer during investigation and the presence of lawyer during the investigation. The human right of the defendant is better protected.
这个案件呢，最主要侦办呢，影响最大的是刑事诉讼法修正，使犯罪嫌疑人在侦查之中可以选任辩护人，保障犯罪嫌疑人的权益。我们检警在侦办任何案件呢，应该都要记起教训，不能预设立场，要注意到人权的保障。
On July 15, 1987, the martial law was lifted in Taiwan. Taiwan moved from autocracy to democracy. Judicial reform ensued. The role of prosecutors changed dramatically. On December 24, 1989, all prosecutors' units were renamed as prosecutors' offices. The name of the chief prosecutor was also changed. The seat of prosecutor in a courtroom has moved. The relationship between judge, prosecutor, and lawyer had thus changed. In the same year, the Taiwan Hsinchu prosecutor's office investigated a high-profile corruption case. The prosecutor challenged the transfer of power of the chief prosecutor and demanded for independence from interfering. People also called for the chief prosecutor not to intervene in the investigation of individual cases. The prosecutorial system started to examine the principle of prosecutorial unity. In 1991, the prosecutor of the Taiwan Taipei Public Prosecutor's Office detained the defendant of the resounding Hualong case, inducing doubt as to the detention power of the prosecutor. Legislators petitioned for an interpretation to the Constitutional Court of the Judicial Yuan. Grand Justices rendered interpretation number 392 in 1995 that held that the prosecutors do not have power to detain defendants.
羁押是有关人身自由，所以他应该由独立的有审判权的法院来审查他的合法与否，他的必要与否。那由法院，就是法院的法官来审查，那能够比较合乎宪法第8条能规定意志的要求。
In 1997, the Code of Criminal Procedure was amended accordingly. The physical freedom of the defendant was better protected. Despite the absence of the power for compulsory measures, prosecutors still worked very hard to combat crimes. On May 16, 1998, Prosecutors Reform Association was established. Prosecutors demanded to assert the attribute of prosecutors and democratize the personnel system of prosecutors. These appeals activated the reform campaign initiated by district prosecutors.
我们当时的目标就是要捍卫检察官的司法性质，然后要健全协同办案。另外要举办这个主任检察官的推荐票选制度，还有评鉴检察长。这一切都是为了要让所谓的检察一体迈向一个健全的方向。
As a result, the Ministry of Justice carried out many reforms on the personnel system and established a transparent system for prosecutorial unity. In 1999, the Organic Law of Court was amended to increase prosecutors' investigators to assist prosecutors in investigation. With professional manpower, prosecutors' investigation is greatly strengthened. In July 1999, the Judicial Yuan convened a National Judicial Reform Conference. With regard to the reform of criminal procedure, several conclusions were reached. Among them, to adopt modified adversarial system had great impact on prosecutorial system, but guided prosecutors in their future actions.
民国88年7月份，全国司法改革会议对检察官职权影响，最重大的可以以一个名词来形容，就是当事人化。好，让检察官对被告的犯罪事实负举证责任。那同时，为了让法院审理案件的负担能够减轻，那么赋予检察官有蛮庞大的起诉裁量权啊，就确立缓起诉的制度。
The Ministry of Justice, in order to carry out the conclusions, chose Shilin and Miaoli district prosecutors' offices. Prosecutors had to be present at the court during the trial since June 2000. In June 2001, the Taiwan Taipei District Prosecutor's Office followed.
在过去，因为检察官人手不足，所以由法官依职权来调查证据。但是刑事诉讼新制之后，加强检察官的举证责任，所以检察官所传唤的证人由检察官主诘问，律师反诘问。如果有不足的部分，由法官来做补充询问，来真实发现。
The presence of prosecutors at the court changed the traditional atmosphere of the court. After the rotation of political power in 2000, the government started cracking down on gangsters and corruption. The Investigation Task Force for Criminal Profiteering Crimes was established in the Taiwan High Prosecutor's Office, and 4 special investigation teams were founded thereof to sweep corruptions vigorously. In the same year, prosecutors of the Taiwan Tainan Prosecutor's Office investigated phony shares of Chi-Mei Corporation. They searched the office and home of a legislator. Prosecutors of the Taiwan Taipei prosecutors investigated Liu Guanjun corruption case. They searched the editing office of the China Times Evening News and home of the reporter. In 2001, prosecutors of the Taiwan Tainan Prosecutor's Office in the investigation of college students download MP3 illegally, searched student dormitory of the National Chen Gong University. A series of searches provoked discussions over prosecutors' search power. Legislators proposed to amend the Code of Criminal Procedure to let judges have the final say in search during investigation. In 2002, the Code of Criminal Procedure was revised again. Inquisitorial system was replaced by modified adversarial system. At the same time, the prosecutor's discretion was expanded by the adoption of delayed prosecution.
2002年修法的时候，这一次的修法在中华民国有刑事诉讼法以来呢，是最根本的、最革命性的一次修改。
In 2003, the amendment of the Rule of Evidence introduced American exclusionary rule of evidence, hearsay doctrine, and cross-examination system.
那这样子的牵动造成呢，我们的检察官呢在审判庭中必须到庭，那也推动了过去从来没有的一个部门的成立，就是公诉组检察官的成立。
The revision became effective on September 1st of the same year. Prosecutors in prosecutors' offices have to be at the court to present the case. The prosecutor was not only the interested party, but also helped the court to find out the truth.
从法官的角度来看，检察官全程到庭实行公诉的意义，我认为呢，它切断了侦查跟审判的接力关系，重新塑造检察官、法官应有的作为。
Judges became more impartial and objective. Debate between prosecutors and lawyers became normal. Trial activities brought new images. People gave positive remarks to trial prosecutors.
它真正的让教科书里面所讲的无罪推定原则，它从教室、从教科书，透过检察官的全能力挺带进法院。
In 2004, the Prosecutors Association ROC Taiwan was established. This is the first Prosecutors Association founded in accordance with the law in the ROC.
推动成立检察官协会有2个目标，第一是促进检察体系的改革进步，第二是拓展国际交流机会。
In recent years, as the trend of globalization goes, prosecutorial affairs also move on to the international stage. In addition to attending international conferences and studying abroad frequently, prosecutors also made great efforts in investigating cross-border crimes, promoting mutual legal assistance, advancing international cooperation, and connecting with the world. These are the new issues for the prosecutors in the 21st century. On January 13, 2006, some important amendments were made to the organic law of the court. The Prosecutor General will be nominated by the President and agreed by the legislature. A special investigation unit will be set up in the Supreme Prosecutor's Office, responsible for the investigation of high-ranking officials and serious corruption cases. The evolution of prosecutorial system moved to a new era. In retrospection of role and functions of prosecutors in the past 100 years, we sought constant improvement on the prosecutorial system, like a butterfly emerging from the cocoon and flying high with glamour. We hope that prosecutors can persist in the core value of professionalism, dedication, and accountability.
检察官负责打击犯罪、侦办不法，具有公益代表人的性格，所以必须体会公益与关怀的特质，以法治国守护人自居，不为任何的强势，关怀弱势跟被害人。同时，更要体会这10几年来刑事诉讼制度的变革，检察官的角色多元化，必须以正面、理性、积极的态度迎接任何的挑战。
We hope that they're fearless in protecting the minority, safeguarding human rights, promoting professional effect, standing on humanity, and play the role as the guardian of justice loyally to achieve their missions and duties expected by the people.
进入新的世代，我们期待所有检察官有全方位的视野、宏观的格局，培养国际观，能够建立检察新文化，充分实现民众的期待跟法律感情。